92Q Nashville's R&B and Throwbacks. It's Kenny Swoop Morning Show. And you know we always got the cool people rolling in town and stopping by. Sissy Brown, tell them who we got in here this morning before Crystal loses it.
Right. Comedian, actor, producer, artist, DeRay Davis.
Lucky me, man. Thank y'all, man.
Thank you so much for being here. Again, we really appreciate you coming back to Nashville, of course. So you like Nashville a little bit. But my question to you is, a lot of comedians frequent Nashville, and we see them a lot. What is going to be different on the DeRay Davis show this time that they haven't seen before?
Well, I think the fact that every time you've seen me, I haven't disappointed you should be enough in the way the world works. I think that's like somebody tuning into your radio station and saying, "What y'all got for me today?" I'd be like, "I've had something for you every day." If you paid attention to it. But I think my ties to any city, well, especially cities I frequented, but I don't know why they come. A lot of times, it's a great place to perform, period, like just across the board. But people say that just to say it. In my case, I was here promoting throwing shows when I was 20 years old.
Yep.
At the Gentry Center. Like, I booked that room. I rented that building myself. I booked Monique there. I booked Life Jennings there when I first came. He hadn't been in no arenas like that ever. But it's all my money, too. No Live Nation, no AG, Bruce, John Witherspoon. I can't think of who the lady was, and I'm trying to say them, but she's a beautiful black woman who was a queen who ran the Gentry Center. I could not think of her name. She helped me for so long. She ran the Gentry Center.
Was it Miss Gentry?
No, that would be 2000. No, her name is Miss Gentry.
Okay.
It's not.
I can't remember.
Somebody's gonna remember.
And she's gonna be upset too.
Oh man.
Because I was addressed her almost like a sergeant because she like ran the school, we did these shows together. And so my ties here, when they would tell me, and it's good now that I get to do the comedy club, but I remember they told me, because I hadn't done the comedy club yet, I'd only done the Gentry Center. I came, my friend went to school there, hooked me up with her, made it happen. So the comedy club, when I was trying to book my acts at first, was stopping me from getting acts.
Wow.
Now I know the owner now. We're super cool now, and I know the business now. But I was trying to book Arnez J, and people are like, "No, Arnez frequents here. He comes here 2-3 times a year." Like, and I'll try to book Earthquake. Like, Earthquake comes here. Now I'm like, these people were my big brothers, and I'm calling like, he's like, "Well, DeRay, I came because I'm like," and I didn't know the business of it because here I am, this young promoter, like, "Yo, I'm telling y'all what I'm about to do. I could do this by myself the entire time," and that's why I don't take, like, to this day, comedy clubs don't run my business. I didn't get into them until I was comfortable, but circling back around so I don't lose everybody. My ties to Nashville are different. My out and abouts, where I would go to promote, I was like literally out here with 10,000 flyers as if, like I'm just starting out. Just to get people into the Gentry Center, you know what I'm saying, to get my shows promoted. So when I come back now and I feel that reciprocated and people coming to my shows just naturally, even the people that don't know I did that, they don't know what seeds we're planting while it was happening.
Yeah.
See, you got some roots out here,
because you're always, when I seen you, you're at Municipal, you're at Bridgestone.
And there's people that brought me, like, these promoters, like the We The Ones tour or whatever. But when I broke apart from doing the, and it's not, I just got a little older and having to be out here for a month and a half with kids at home was different than staying in the hotel. Like, I'm going to keep going down to TSU, to go down to Vanderbilt with the Flyers. I was everywhere.
That's awesome.
Getting it done.
And look at it now.
Look at him doing this
probably
thing.
People got a flyer from me and didn't even know it was me.
Let me tell you right now, you can get some of this action real quick before I can do anything else, man. You got to get your tickets because Saturday show sold out.
Saturday sold out.
That's done. All right, so you can go tonight. Right now, you can get your tickets at 615-269-0221.
You have
615-269-0221. What are the two choices?
7 o'clock and 9:15. Those for tonight, but tomorrow.
Jay, did you get a text this morning?
We sold out, Jay?
Not yet.
You better do it now.
Better hurry up.
Normally we do a few shows, but I understand money's different now because it's different if it's different for me, it's different for everybody. I know it's different. I see that gas and I be like, man, I don't know.
Get a half a tank or something. But look, you got that. Those tickets, man, available. Get out there and make that happen. So you know what? We got to get another question up in here real quick though before we go to break, man.
Well, I just want to know what you got going on next because you've done hosted game shows, you've done movies, you've done everything. What do you want to do? You want to chill out?
I would love.
What do you want to do next? Not what are you doing next?
I would love to build a time machine so I could tell myself, don't spend all the money.
Oh, damn.
I would go back and tell myself, no, I've always been, I was talking about this yesterday. I love comedy. I love proving myself consistently. I love that No one's been tired of me yet. Like, he doing the same old. I love that I consistently present a challenge for young comics to have to keep being better. I love that when they still one style, I can still switch it up.
Right.
I love that I can still talk my comedic and still back it up.
Yeah.
But some people can't back it up no more. I'm glad that I'm able. It's not like it's sports. It's like athletics because you got to be on stage. But I love the people that are the consistency I've learned from, like the Dale Hughley's, the Damon Williams, people that just stayed in it, the John Witherspoons, like that. Like, we still hit threes, you know what I mean? No matter what team you put us on comedically, we still score. So I think that I haven't found a new goal yet other than making someone out there better than me, and it's been impossible so far.
Okay.
All right, man. All right, guys, get out there.
Talk,
He just don't know I'm on my way. Don't worry about it.
I'm not doubtful.
Somebody better
No.
than you coming.
It's not.
Anyway, let's get
That's
this
like,
over.
you know, I'm not mad you said it because I'm like, I walk down the street, it's like LeBron by a basketball court. It's always some comics like the young Hooper, like, let's play. Like, we don't mind people being like, I want you to be greater than me. It's like your kids and people younger than you don't. I want you to be, because I know that I really did my job.
Right.
But until you catch me though, I'm
We gonna keep talking, yo.
I'm gonna talk it, man.
Right.
Someone said you're so Chicago. What does that mean?
They say I am.
He said he's so Chicago. What does that mean?
I think it has something to do with they try to say it's probably the
It's not the accent.
nah,
because you really don't have
it's the me saying, you know what I'm saying?
confidence or the
Yeah, I don't want to say it like that because it relate to everybody. But I think this sport we play, this thing I play is confident. If I was not confident, can you imagine the kind of comedian I would be?
Right.
And it's not like this confidence comes from everyone was so I was welcomed with open arms, because it wasn't that. I proved myself consistently every time. So I think that it's more of a battle with the mirror and saying, I want to be better. I'm going to stay better. I'm going to stay better. So I don't catch up with myself rather than somebody else catching up with me. Because in my mind, nobody can.
Did you get and this is a light-skinned question. And I'm looking at
Oh, shit.
Did you get the pretty boy
Break
syndrome?
down.
Did you get the pretty boy syndrome in the business?
When I started,
Yeah, like you the pretty boy. You're a pretty boy. I don't want to buy that type of thing.
He should have.
I thought I had gave.
What?
I thought I had gave
should
enough.
have?
Well, I thought I gave enough of who I was, because when I came in the game, also I was very married, so I wasn't looking at no.
Oh.
When I was.
Does that mean you're not anymore?
Hold on.
I was a kid.
How
kid.
you
I
go
was
from
young.
married and now you have 2 women?
I don't know what that means, man.
What do you call it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Anyway,
What do you call it?
I don't
gonna
get
say.
it. I don't know. But that's
Googled.
that's like bringing up who was the president in 2000.
Belgium.
Google.
Yeah, and right. That has nothing to do with. Yeah, it has nothing to do with. No, I'm saying I was very. I was with my high school girlfriend, so I'm saying as far as being a pretty boy, I didn't really get. I didn't want that. So I think that made me a little tougher too on stage. It made me a little bit. It's kind of like the. You had to prove yourself even more, because what's expected of you, and then what you get. Like the guys are like, I want it, or the women. You don't want them thinking this. I'm not Bill Bellamy. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are like, no, really. Like those, like Bill Bellamy was known for being like the Shamar Moore during that time.
Right,
Yes,
it's all
that's
that.
a good one.
Right.
They were known
All
during
of
that time. Like Bill Bellamy was like, yo, like the leather jackets, and I didn't have no leather jacket. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that vibe. No, I didn't have.
no leather
And the way he
jacket.
was able to perform it, I couldn't perform in a suit. I was always comfortable in like feeling grimy, feeling like, yo,
Right.
I watched Def Jam. My idols were the Mike Epps. My idols were Corey Holcomb. My idols were. So it was like, no, I just want to prove to them guys I'm funny. So on top of that, I did feel a little bit of pressure of having to be more shock value, because people didn't know what my life was. And there was one side of it where no one had been that young, married, and then divorced that quick. So my story alone was already different than a lot of comics. Comedians weren't talking about people going through people's phones. So, if we want to do the research and me start sunning
Right.
people, we could put dates to stuff. But mine was my real pain, so I was not concentrating on. I thought my mom and everybody, okay, you be handsome on stage, I would try to keep the haircuts up. After a while, it's like, yo, the conditions of comedy were like weather. You had to
move.
adjust
with
when
the-
it was happening.
yeah.
So the last thing I was thinking about, and if I'd have focused on that, how I looked, I would have never been funny. I didn't mind being, getting most of my movies. I was the not so good looking guy. You know what I'm saying? It's a random effort in a movie that I would try to be handsome in a movie. I always played the funnier guy. My idol, Anthony Anderson, who he's right now. Anthony probably still looks young right now.
Yeah.
But
He lost a lot of weight.
and lost a lot of weight too.
weight, yeah.
He lost a lot of weight too, which I'm proud of him for that. Whatever
doubt.
around, because that's all part of your this thing we're doing, this marathon we're doing. But my idols were people that just would be just funny. Like, I can't think of all the names now because whenever I get in front of it, I never want to leave names out. So inside, in my mind, I just start Xing everybody's name. So nobody's, I'm like, I don't want that person to be mad, this person. But end of the day, nah, I never got I don't think I got if they tried to give me the pretty boy stamp, I fought it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which led to how things was. I mean, a lot of ways I talked on stage, I didn't really talk like that all day. To this day, I've realized how I don't say the P word a lot. Like if I looked at my whole set, I don't say. They didn't have to check me on the any of the real movements that was happening because I had never lived in that world anyway.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't have an opinion on it.
I didn't have nobody. And I learned that early. I remember Tony Schofield taught me. I went on stage one day and I did a joke about smoking marijuana, and I hadn't smoked. And Tony Schofield was like, "Wait, you don't smoke? You don't smoke. So how you gonna talk about how high you was?" And it was just that alone that embarrassed me enough in my soul. He didn't have to say it out loud. I was like, "Talk about what you know."
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I mean, when I started getting on stage, then a few girls was liking me more. Of course, that comes with it. You know what I mean? And people, and you start talking about like where you from and what you did. So I knew that stuff, and I knew people didn't know it. So I try to gather my strength for more of who I was than what I looked like.
So it's different than the rap game. You can sit up there, talk bricks and guns, and you ain't never had no bricks and guns. But if you're doing comedy, you gotta you have to live
the problem.
that.
No. The problem is that, and I hate that too, because some things we talk about is perspective. I could have came in and said the perspective of having a cousin who was under the influence in some cases, who my mom was on drugs real bad, and I didn't know how to even deliver it until I talked to a comedic friend of mine. He was like, "Yo, this is just how you talk. So just say it the way you just said it to me. And let me see how it works out." Even my divorce, the same comedian was like, "Get on dog, get up there and tell them people what you do. Man, you don't care about what them people say, DeRay, you." And when that man talks, you like, and that's why I get so upset when people always don't know the motivational skills that he has too. Like Corey, they don't know that because it looks so.
Awesome.
No, because he's just Corey's sitting on the front porch of a mansion that he built, and people upset because they walking on his yard. People walking on his yard. Like you walk over there to see it. You don't supposed to be on this yard. You can't handle it, so get out of here. No reason to be mad because everything he's ever done, like with me and for comedians, has always been in the movement of comedians and being better. So that's what we see. So when people talk anything, so that's what I'm saying. His advice back then to get me through what I went through at that moment was, I was having a bad week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see Corey.
So when you got the Kevin Hart's, the Martin Lawrence, the Corey Holcombs, the Arnett J's, the ones that were your idols.
Well, Kevin was the same age.
Kevin's about the same, but
Kevin was saying me and Kevin were roomies for a minute. So yeah,
oh,
he can't be an idol. He stayed in my apartment.
Okay,
he can't,
Chris Rock.
No, but now though, with the names you were naming, well, I like to give each have their superpower. Mm-hmm. So Kevin, by what he did, moved into that status in your mind just from the work you put in.
Yeah.
So you're able to place him there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what's important. So
I said it and I went.
So when you think about it, as far as if you were asking me now, like during that time, it couldn't have been because I was searching for. I mean, just comedy there was no real. You didn't know what you were. Why you wanted to talk to other comics. You don't know what it was about that person in that moment. Y'all just in this comedy club together and figuring it out. Even the people you thought was on their way, because me and Corey got ideas about the same time. Okay. And they had been putting in work for a long time. Kevin's success, what happened to him in the beginning was crazy. Like, come on, Soul Plane. They kept pushing him other stuff like he was a star. And he's like, yo, let me settle. So what he did is he gathered himself and was like, I'm about to show y'all how I'm a star. Why I'm a star on my own. Mm-hmm. And that's what moved him in your mind to iconic and idol.
Right.
That's why people looking up, and the young comics now, their idol, and they look up to him. It'll be rude for me to say that because he's going to say, DeRay, you've been off track since I met you. If I was your idol, you'd have lived differently.
When
if I was your idol,
And how you lived it too, man, is really cool because you saw them go from the suits and they had this whole thing that we'd get backstage and they'd say, you don't come up here unless you got a suit on or whatever. I've heard some comics tell younger comics that back in the day. And then you moved to the Carl Kanai and you moved, you know what I'm saying? And then you kept it moving. And now you got, DC Young Fly and them that are taking the banner. Like you lived through all of those phases, bro.
That's crazy. I think about it all the time. People always say when I came in, Def Jam was just kind of ending. So I was kind of upset I didn't get a chance to do it. But at the same time, everything else was rolling with the deals and stuff. Then Def Jam came back, and I was a beast then, so I was prepared. Just the general, I've 1 degree of separation as far as comedy goes. You're right. I've been a part of all of these eras, luckily, and able to LL Cool J my way through them.
That's good.
Because LL stays
like
consistent.
that.
I was
Right.
able to, and you don't never diss him. You'll never think he's like, you don't never think, even when the last one he just dropped, he rapping a little fast and he rapping still, you like, that means if you slowed it down, he could beat Jay, you could beat, L could rap like just about anybody.
No doubt.
So,
Can I?
Rick Party said hello, DeRay.
Rick used to do my commercials when I
Rick,
did
what
my
up, though?
Party said,
Your
hey.
favorite set that I've ever saw was the one where you did the All-Star Shakes All-Star, and you told that white lady.
You stand up that quick, and I messed that joke up that day too.
No, you did not.
I did.
To you did.
I did
you,
because
you
it had
did.
been hitting so hard. And I remember a comic told me, he said, if ever you get that on TV, and I had the moment, and then something beat the moment. I don't know what was happening, but it still worked because
I think
it's like about to miss the shot. You're like, all right, I'm used to doing the reverse. Yeah, I'm just going to reverse. I can get it in, but it's still going to be, it wasn't the perfect shot. And I think about that all the time because that joke, it's also a interactive joke, so there's no perfect way of planning it, but I had done it so many ways that I practiced the boxing move so many ways that it still landed, but not the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And people went crazy. I was like, okay.
I did
But it
too.
worked for
When
you.
I watch it, man, it
I'll
worked.
take it.
I was like, dude is raw. I like him. Like, then you talked about the dude that had that big ass glass.
All this just was laid out for me.
Yeah.
Cat was there laid out
basically-
for
yeah.
me. And I wasn't supposed to be on the show.
And I'm glad you was, because you
Yeah, I
ate
got
down
an
real
email. I got
bad.
an email from and it's right now. I got an email from Jeff Clanagan's the company, and it said they want to invite me to the All-Star Comedy Jam, and I wrote back, "Ain't no All-Star Comedy Jam. DeRay Davis ain't on it."
Oh my gosh. That's why we're inviting you.
Okay.
No, he was inviting me to watch.
Oh, to watch.
Just like Kat was there watching, people there watching. I was like,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
I was like, no. And he's
What
like,
is
then
the
Jeff,
purpose of
then
that?
Jeff is also like that. I mean, in the industry, as far as him making his own moves, Jeff Clanagan, I don't know who all he works with now, but he helped Kevin and those guys, and he worked at that company. But he liked the challenge too. Like I've been grateful enough to. I'm not grateful. I've been blessed enough to meet, and I'm grateful that I met people that accept the challenge of, like, he didn't back down. He was like, all right, what you want to get on it? You want to show me what you talking? And he was like, yeah, talk to my people, and I was there. And I knew I wasn't ready because I had a skull cap on in Arizona, and I was on fire on stage. Rotisserie. I think I had a vest on too.
Yeah.
That was so Chicago. I was dressed like
Chicago.
Yeah.
just like
It
I was
was
going to Mount
green.
Everest and not
Yeah, on a green vest. and
green
a-
vest.
and a
Yeah, I
skull
was out there
cap.
bad. I wish I had a
Dang.
stylist
I
then.
She remember what
I
you had
love him
on.
real bad, y'all.
Yeah, I was out
Phoenix.
there. I was out there. Looked like I had packs in my pocket on stage.
Yeah, he did look
Everybody
like
else looked, yeah. I think Aries had a little hip hop about him too. But other
Yeah,
than
he
that,
did. He did.
I was out there like straight off the block. Like,
And
like,
Kevin came out there looking like he was
A
finna go to
superstar.
school.
And he went to
They had
school.
on that little button down.
and they
little-
slowed it down as he left in slow motion, and it was black and white, and
Yeah.
and Kevin was gone.
Yeah.
You did a
Kevin
question?
was gone. He was our superstar. They slowed it down as Kevin left, dressed nice, prepared, showed up ready, and he's gone. After that, the special started. Boom, boom, boom. And all us over there hip hopping, talking about I'm doing
I
what I'm
can't
saying?
say you probably don't remember me either because I came to your last show at Zany's. The last time you was here at Zany's and you was doing some joke about
Some joke.
No, listen. No,
You know if they're
listen.
doing something.
Because it was an interactive joke, and you was asking about sex. What bothers women about sex? And I looked at you, and you was like, "What bothers you about sex?" And I was like, "They take too long."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Now, I know
I was-
that bit. That bit's why I was building that bit. That bit's
Yeah.
crazy. Like that. That's one of the bits. Is like that. When I first started doing it, most of it starts interactive because I host
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I got one question, please, and maybe I missed.
Can you turn on Sean?
And it better be about comedy too.
No.
Oh, never mind. I didn't know you weren't in there. Never mind.
Not about comedy. It's actually about Snowfall.
All right, I'll
Snowfall.
do that.
Okay.
Turn the mic.
yeah,
Kenny,
I know,
turn the
right?
mic. So
No, I said I'll
Here you
do.
go. Here you go.
That was not on. You're not on.
Okay. So my question about Snowfall is, first of all, you did amazing.
Thank you.
How did it happen? And, I guess towards the end of Snowfall, I kind of fell apart because I didn't see how you exited the show. So can you kind of I mean, I know it's been some years, but I'm just saying.
That was a great
Ain't
show.
nothing never too long ago for me if I can remember it. Got on the show, John Singleton. I've seen John was at.
So this was in the works before John died, correct? Or okay, I mean, I'm just asking, like, you coming on to the show, because I think it was like your first time. Such a big fan of it.
Right.
Was like season 3, 4,
2.
2.
Okay, so John did Empire, but before that, we were supposed to did. I had an audition to do. So much.
He's got so much on his accolades.
No, it's not that. It's the John is it's different. You don't get a lot of opportunities, and where people usually jump on a bandwagon of talent, or they're like they like what they can control. From how I started, I was never truly controllable as far as just me telling you, like, I promote my own shows. I go you tell me no, I'm going to buy a comedy club. You tell me no, I'm doing. That's just how I am. I'm not waiting on you. My life is not. So, John didn't know who I was, and I thought everybody should by now. I'm like,
Absolutely.
so he comes to the comedy club every now and then. I'm like, yo. So I met him. He seemed I was a cool guy, like as far as just life goes. A couple times, not a lot, but like enough where he'd see me out, and he's like, oh, they introduced me to him, and then I had a big audition for a movie he did with Taraji. I think Tyrese was gonna be back in. It was called Fight for Love.
Okay.
And he told Taraji, who saw me in this audition, he's like, he can act. And Taraji had heard about me in other ways, but never like comedically. She said this. She said, she's like, she knows me comedically, but didn't really know I can act.
Right.
John gave me an opportunity, and then Taraji was like, her stamp is important, and it was. And she said, she could tell at that moment I could, told me I could act. And me hearing that from her was huge for me. I can't. And then after that, for some reason, the movie didn't go, and I ended up doing Empire, and another queen who I was terrified of, Tasha's there.
Okay.
So Tasha and Taraji's in the scene together with me, and I'm feeling like I was 2 feet tall.
I love Tasha.
I'm like, yeah, you can feel it in the air. You're like, this is Oscar talk on this TV show. And they gave me direction in that moment, and it helped. So after that, and we had a great scene. I had a great ending scene on Empire. John had been developing Snowfall.
Okay.
He let me know early on. I went by. He's like, this is Snowfall. This is going to be his friends over this. Like, this written about my boy from Chicago. I'm putting you in it. And I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. I've been told I've been putting stuff before. I've sat in front of a director's like, we're starting tomorrow. You're the guy. And then, hello. John cast me. We shot a pilot. John cast me as Jerome. We shot the pilot. I was Jerome. Lauren London was Louis.
Wow.
Damson's mom was played by, I believe, Jill Scott.
Jesus.
Damn.
Damson's dad was played by, it was a small role at the time. At the end, I think it was Isaiah Washington.
Okay.
Wow.
Damson was there, of course. He had fought for the role because he had some strong actors up against him. And I think during it, I was finding it, but I was also probably overwhelmed that it was even happening and that John was believing. So I thought I had some great, strong moments in it, but I still didn't think I had. Maybe I would have learned as the time went on. You see somebody on the show early on, then years later they really get good. Mm-hmm. But as far as what's for you is for you, and I knew everything I had in my life had been for me. And I felt good. And in that moment even, it didn't feel like it was completely mine. Mm-hmm. So FX saw it, felt how they felt, and I don't know who was in charge at the time. I was told that we weren't moving forward on that pilot. And I was like, oh, man, it's like, we're going to reshoot it. And I'm like, oh, man. And I had to re-audition. Wow. And I remember going in, and I had freestyled something in the pilot. Freestyle, just how I do in every film I've ever been in. I got to put some DeRay in it. It's some kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I saw my lines that I freestyled in the new audition script. Oh. And I ain't going to lie, I was kind of like,
dang,
beat up. I let John know that my lines were in there. And John says, is you bitching or is you auditioning?
Oh, damn.
What ain't?
Well, damn.
Yeah, that's real talk.
It's probably still on my phone, too. Basically, if you bitching or you auditioning.
So somebody said real quick, they caught up with him after he ran off with the bag and the rest is history.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me know.
Snowfall.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
well,
on the YouTube.
Just crazy.
Yeah, that had to be later on. But I'm telling them, but they don't know. I mean, but it's more personal. The reason it even pumps my brakes is because the fact that how it happened, and I'm glad it happened like that because the person I always say, the person that played Eamon Joseph, who played Jerome, can act. Like he's like literally he lives it. Like the cast, I learned so much just being on there because them people can act, and you didn't know who they were. That's how you know it's a good show.
Yeah.
Had it been the way it was at first, we'd have had some distractions. Somebody would have said DeRay making me laugh the whole time. They wouldn't have fell in love with the show.
Right.
So now when they seen Eamon and they seen just all the actors that played Damson, Malcolm May's introduction, just when they seen them characters together, then you were like, oh, I don't even know these people, but I love the show.
Yeah.
Because we've seen shows that people produce that we don't know the people and we don't love the show. I want to get into it, but I'm saying there's some people out there just throwing actors on shows, and then it's like, you know, you're
terrible.
like, who is like, and it's not. It could be one strong anchor, one song, and they're like, how you talking shit? You ain't. Because I've been around all of it, and I love that too. I feel like I should be able to. People always like, what you talking about? Like, you'll never be. You've never met somebody with one degree of separation than me in acting. Because I'm still out and about. I'm like, comedians and rappers talking about the club, they're not out. I ain't seen none of them last night. I don't see y'all. Not by yourself. You ain't walking through here. You're not just walking down Beale Street. You're not just walking down Miami Broadway. You're not just walking. No, I'm not mixing up. I'm saying these places. I'm just naming places I just randomly walk.
You just be out by yourself, just chilling.
Walking.
Outside.
Wow.
And people, last night we all like, I'm like, you don't do, so that's where I get my comedy from. These are you have to go get the seeds in order. You got a farm, right? You got to go get all the seeds.
Right.
Yeah.
I need all of the, but that's just talk about why I should be able to, why I'm in this position. Instead of being an analyst who's never played. I played.
Been playing.
Played and stay
Been
playing.
Y'all, this man has been doing this in
Snowfall is, I'm just saying it was important for me to get the story out because people don't know it. And the work that is more about them being great at the moment than me not being good or me telling the story of a role I almost got. Because every time somebody talk a role, when it comes up, is I don't want the clickbait. I don't want I've never lived my life like that. I don't need it. I don't need to sit down and have an interview and drop names in order for people to talk to me. I don't have to say who I was around for it to happen. You know who I was around because you see it, you feel it. You know what albums I was on. You know what movies I was in. Instead of me being like, I remember this one time, unless it's funny. If it's funny and it don't involve or disrupt somebody at home or somebody's been married for the last 5 years. I'm talking about the 6 year we was in the strip club. Remember 6 years ago? Right when you got married. You was like, and people at home like, we love that. Like, that's, of course, because you don't have, you can't, in discussing yourself, you become bored. So it's easy to talk about somebody else. Because you don't like your life. You can't tell me no exciting side. My grandfather told me exciting stories about himself, his life, and you listen. He ain't never be like, and then Bob came over. But
want somebody else to do it.
It was more about circling back. It was more about the importance of being prepared, which I was not totally, and I thought I was. I thought I was ready to be. Now, right now, after being on that show and then being on The Shy and Lena giving me the freedom to be who I want to be and learning to project and listen to John as far as translating and getting my words out. If you watch my interview years ago, I couldn't even talk like this. This is a muscle that I worked on.
Wow.
I was good at comedy. I'm good. I'm sporadic. All that stuff is easy. Stage came naturally. I'm most comfortable on stage. It feels like shoes. But acting, I was uncomfortable. And now, sitting back in that humility, that humbling experience of sit down, you are not the man. You in how many movies? That's cool. Meet Eamon Joseph. Fresh from New York. Works out, cares about the role, studied his lines. And you sit there like, oh, shit.
Hey.
Meet Damson, who since he was 4 years old in London, working just to sound like us a little bit. Just to sound like us a little bit.
That's awesome.
And then worked it out. And then worked it out to the fact he was able to do something like this in the show.
Right. That is amazing.
Y'all hear
So I had to
things.
watch all that, though. I had to watch that to learn it. And now
awesome.
though, I'm a bad boy. Can't lie to you. When it happens now, it's going to happen.
You're going to see him doing this thing all over the place, man. We appreciate you just getting and sharing some words.
I'm not done talking. Listen, I'm joking. I'm finished.
You're welcome to hang out for sure, but you know what? YouTube, in case he bounces at some point, we just want to give him some love, man. Give him his flowers. Give it up, man. DeRay.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, I do got it.